This is the beginning. This is where it all will start. On the wings of some new spirit, with the beat of some new heart. And the road that goes before me, leading somewhere out of sight, is a brand new opportunity for me to get it right. This is the beginning. I'm ready, but reluctant. I'm excited, but afraid. So, this is my beginning. Loving friends and willing strangers, with their voices joining in, create a chorus of encouragement that begs me to begin. And the power that will take me there is here inside of me. Though there is no way I can know how many trials I'll endure, nor the joys that I may find, there is one thing I know for sure. This is my beginning. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, and dear students, good morning. On behalf of Asian Education Group, I welcome you to the most important academic ritual at the Asian School of Business, the Orientation Program, initiating new students of the BBA and BCA batch for 2020 in the intellectual arena. Foremost, we congratulate all students who've made it to the ASB family. Asian School of Business falls under the aegis of the Asian Education Group that has been continuously imparting educational excellence for the past 25 years. For today's auspicious occasion, we are fortunate to have with us the virtual presence of our esteemed guests. Our chief guest, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha. A chartered accountant by profession and a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is an Indian politician, currently a member of Rajya Sabha from Andhra Pradesh. He has been formerly the Minister of Railways, Minister of Commerce and Industry, and Civil Aviation. Mr. Suresh Prabhu is a man of action, having a penchant for undertaking reforms, scripting turnarounds, and achieving superlative results by working in mission mode. An advocate for decisive growth driven change, he is well respected for his impeccable integrity, passion, and commitment towards society at large. A global visionary, widely acclaimed for his international management skills, he is engaged with various international forums and having visited over 100 countries in the world. An ace administrator with great panache, he is known for his deft moves in politics and public administration and has held various cabinet portfolios. He has been the official emissary of the Prime Minister of India in the G7 and G20 forums, shaping the official agenda of the Government of India on key issues for G7 and G20 summit. He's been a member of Parliament in the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th Lok Sabha from 1996 to 2009. He has taken a host of initiatives to ensure constituency development, legislative reforms, and opinion building. He is known for his out of box thinking and has scripted various reforms and effected organizational transformations. He is a rare mix of academic excellence and execution capability and has been published widely on social and economic issues. His is a life devoted to worthy social causes, and he is connected with over 150 social and cultural organizations. He has varied interests. Besides reading and writing, he is a music aficionado, with that a sports enthusiast and a committed philatelist. He has been featured among the top 3 Indian leaders of the future by Asia Week magazine, Hong Kong, in its cover story, Giant on the Move. We welcome you, sir, today. Our guest of honor, Dr. R.S. Sodhi, Managing Director, Gujarat Co-operative Milk Marketing Federation Limited. Dr. Rupinder Singh Sodhi is Managing Director of Gujarat Co-operative Milk Marketing Federation Limited, AMUL, and obtained his BE degree from Udaipur, then joined the Institute of Rural Management at Anand. He has received an honorary degree of Doctor of Science from Anand Agriculture University. Dr. Sodhi has headed the marketing and sales function of AMUL for more than 2 decades and has spearheaded their highly innovative and widely acclaimed marketing campaigns, such as number one, promoting milk as the world's original energy drink, number two, eat milk campaign motivating the Indian youth to include dairy products in every meal. And number 3, Amul Doodh Pita Hai India. He has been instrumental in launching more than 50 new products during his tenure as managing director in the last 6 years. He has also spearheaded digital marketing and social media marketing innovations in the Indian dairy industry to ensure that younger generation of India enhances consumption of milk and dairy products. We welcome you, sir. Dr. Sandeep Marwa, President AEG. Dr. Sandeep Marwa is a well-known international media person with 7 world records to his credit. He is the founder of Noida Film City and Marwa Studios and the Asian Academy of Film and Television, which is now one of the 10 best film schools of the world. Dr. Sandeep Marwa is associated with a large number of television programs, feature films, and training films. He is the producer of the largest number of short films in the world. He has trained more than 19,000 media professionals hailing from 145 countries of the world. He is the recipient of 700 awards from all over the world for his contribution to films, television, and media, inclusive of 170 international accolades. He has been heading more than 100 national and international media and social organizations and has been titled as the Global Cultural Minister. He is also the president of the International Chamber of Media and Entertainment Industry. He has already been honored in the House of Commons at the British Parliament in London and Bavaria Parliament in Munich and the Champion of Wales in the Welsh Parliament. He is now the Chancellor of the Aft University of Media and Arts and has been appointed as the Chief Scout for India by the President of India. We welcome you, sir, today. We also have with us our 3 directors who are live on campus today. On the dais, Dr. Lalityaveer Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, Director, Asian Education Group. Light symbolizes prosperity and the removal of darkness. The lamp lighting ceremony shall mark the beginning of the orientation week. Therefore, let's commence with the invocation of Lord Ganesha and ask him for his almighty hand to be on all those who would be beginning the journey with us from today, to bless their lives with goodness and love, to help them to stay true to their dreams, to use their gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and success. May I invite our esteemed guests, virtually, and our directors on the dais to please come forward for the lamp lighting liturgy. May I invite Dr. Lalityaveer Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group, for the welcome address.
Good morning, everybody. This is indeed my absolute honor to welcome you all to this inaugural ceremony of the Asian School of Business Batch 2020. With all my due respect, I would, on behalf of the entire Asian Education Group fraternity, would like to welcome the honorable guests today who have consented to be the part and parcel of the orientation program and bless the students of Asian Education Group who have taken admission in BBA and BCA program here And my gratitude to Honorable Minister Sri Suresh Prabhuji, who has consented to be the chief guest of the program today, Dr. R.S. Sodhi, the Managing Director of AMUL, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, the Chairman of Asian Education Group, Mr. Saurabh Sharma, the Director for the Asian Education Group, and Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, the Director of Asian Education Group, my Dean for Asian School of Business, Mr. Maruf, who's there available today amongst us, and then the deans of the other departments and the faculty members of Asian Education Group. Dear students, this is a new beginning that you are entering into. So I welcome you all to the new norms of the education industry now. The last 7-8 months that COVID-19 that we have been struggling, but the positive aspect of this, if you see, though it has changed a lot of things in the entire life of the individuals globally and also economically, the entire globe that has been suffering. But positive side, if you see, it has given the new norms to live, the innovation and the creativity that people could develop and then think of the survival of the fetus for their own selves. And that is how the entire country, entire globe, and the individuals have taken the best care of themselves during this time. And then industries, the people from the various economic backgrounds and the academic backgrounds had given their heads that how to take it forward. And today, gradually, we all are conquering the battle against COVID-19 and then establishing the new norms for the growth of the people, the industry, the globe, and the country. So with all those changes where there was a lot of question marks that what would happen to the students, what would happen to, and I'm talking specifically about the academic industry now, that what would happen to the students, what would happen to their precious year that they have studied, and then what would happen to their future. A lot many question marks were which were there, and ideally people were not able to visualize that this session would be commencing. But by the grace of God, we and many of the industry in the industry academic institution have taken those initiatives. We particularly at Asian Education Group had conducted the examination and online classes for the previous batches, and very gloriously that they have completed their year and then even started their new next year of their education with Asian Education Group. So the Asian Education Group is actually prepared to take care of all the needs that you have as of now today. I understand today being the very first day when you are being introduced to the new system of academics, you must be having a lot of question marks in your mind that how would I study, what would be my learning, what would be the skill development, and then how would I be growing professionally. But uh, from here at this end, being the director of Asian Education Group, I can assure you that at Asian Education Group, we have taken care of each and everything that can create the hindrance for your development. So we are all equipped to take care of your academics, professional development, skill development, personal development, so that you cover this education, and there is no question mark on you for not having that caliber to be corporate ready after 3 years of your time. So this year again, though the challenges of COVID has not been over now, but then I look at you are ready to take the challenges of the another new world that you are entering into. What you are entering into is a professional world, a corporate world, where each one of you have some expectations of developing yourself very professionally, and then after 3 years, everybody has gotten in his mind that I should be financially independent individual, and should be contributing to my own self, to my family, to my peers, to my society, to my nation, and to the globe gradually. So uh, that is the journey that you are starting, and you need to take that challenge that this COVID has taught us how to take those challenges and then come out with the flying colors. So even here, when you are starting your journey, I would like to request you to be focused for two three things that you need to keep in your mind. One is being focused on what you are entering with in this institution. Two, introspect your own self, sitting at your own end, that you what you actually want to do, and how gradually these 3 years that you can plan for yourself, where all your dreams that you have seen would come true. Then the third thing is the individuality that you have, because that is again going to matter the most. Because though you are entering in this institution in a good number, in a group, but then individually that you need to train yourself, and that individually is individuality only is going to make a major difference after 3 years what you develop yourself for. No two people would be same, and no two people on the same quality, on the same talent, and same professional quotient that the industry and the corporate will buy for. So please focus on your individuality. And all this time when you are onto the online learning module, where the classes would be online, and then all those events and activities for your professional development would be online, you need to practice the self control, right? Because you need not come to the campus. So your faculty members and the other caretakers would not be there to correct and check. But then during this time, there is only your self control and self consciousness, that yes, I need to, do this. I need to have this. I need to actually complete my course and, do the best to me, even in these times. So have that self control, have that responsibility, be responsible for yourself. It is not that somebody else would come and tell you what you are supposed to do, though the teachers, the mentors, all these programs which are there would keep helping you during this time as well. And as soon as we open the campus and you are there in the campus, the things would be different. But we have tried to make it like where you don't face any problem, even in the duration when you are online with us. So the focus is on individuality and your responsibility that you take for your own self. Once you are responsible for your own self, the things would be in the right stride. And I'm very sure with the help of the campus, you would be able to achieve what you have dreamt for, and with all the dreams that you are entering into the Asian School of Business. With all that, I don't want to take much of your time, because I have got a detailed session with you tomorrow where we can discuss all these issues, and take care. Will explain you, acquaint you with the campus and your faculty members. So all the very best, and welcome to the board again. Thank you so much.
And now may I request Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Director Asian Education Group, for the inaugural address.
Thank you so much. Honorable Shri Suresh Prabhuji, Dr. R.S. Sodhi, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, my colleagues, faculty and staff members, and dear students, I welcome you all to the orientation ceremony of the BBA and BCA 2020 batch at Asian School of Business. Students, I think today marks the commencement of a new phase for you all, the graduation phase. Basically, your education is generally divided into three phases. First is your schooling, second is your graduation, and then it's your post-graduation. The one mistake which students generally make is that they consider graduation to not be that important, and they give more emphasis upon post-graduation. Or I should say, they get more serious about their education when they enter their post-graduation years. But trust me, your success is a combination of all these three phases. Say, for example, if a tree is to be cut, it may seem that the tree fell on the ground with the final stroke of the axe, but actually all the previous strokes were equally important. So what I want to tell you is that this particular 3-year phase forms the core of your education, and you can gain a lot of knowledge and exposure by working hard in this phase. The other thing I feel is that you all your life have been told that hard work, staying motivated, staying disciplined, healthy, honest will be like a ladder for your success. I agree to that. But today, other than these basic principles, I would like to make emphasis upon three basic things which I feel are practical in nature, and I've seen a lot of people work upon them, and these three things have actually transformed them for the better. So the first thing which I want to tell or focus upon is basically something which is common amongst all top entrepreneurs, billionaires, I would say, even for that matter, all the achievers. The one thing which I found common, and it's not a rocket science, is books. Basically, when I say books, I don't mean your course books and all. I mean books which are self-help books, books which are biographies, books which are stories of successful entrepreneurs, books upon how they conceptualize a business idea, books upon how to enhance your interpersonal skills, how to build confidence. So if generally, like, you try to understand, uh, a person like a Bill Gates, if you have heard him ever, says that he reads one book a day. And then there are students who crib that they don't even get any time for reading, because I feel you have time, ample of time, for another book, which is the Facebook. But then even if you are to spare 10 minutes of your day, which will result into 300 minutes in a month, approximately 5 hours, that is sufficient for you to at least go through one book. And trust me, it changes a lot within you, and you will feel it not happening after a few years, but immediately once you start inculcating this particular habit. So this one thing which I feel is that you need to really get into the habit of going into reading, practicing it, and trust me, you will see a change right from the first month itself. The second thing which I want to tell you is individuals. When I say individuals, I mean the people you are surrounded by mostly, or you end up spending most time with. And I don't mean your family members or your parents. These people could be your friends, these people could be your teachers, these people could be your professors, and these people could also be your batchmates, which you will eventually meet over the next few days, the new batchmates who you just enrolled with here today. Why I'm saying so? Because if you do a little research again, or just try to solve the it, you'll find that majority of the promising and successful startups or business ideas were actually co-founded by people who are friends or who are batchmates when they were still pursuing their education. Right from something like a Facebook to a Flipkart, from Ola cabs to Oyo rooms, these all have been co-founded by people during their educational journey. So what I want to put across is that it's very important that you actually choose the kind of people you are surrounded by. And you need to have people who are like-minded, those who have a common vision, a common goal, a common interest. Probably that would really assist you in actually achieving in terms of your future entrepreneurial aspirations, or maybe if you want to work in a company, the kind of sector you want to work in, these people will actually be a huge help for you. So I would say let the search begin from today itself. The last thing which I want to say is that you need to have goals. When I say goals, I just mean to tell you that there are certain people who may have already set certain goals for themselves, and there are certain people who may not have. But it's okay. But then it's very important for you to now start thinking upon certain definitive goals. Why? Because, see, it's like your journey is directionless if you are not having any goals in life. And also, one more thing which is important is that you need to have big goals, because it's not that you have big goals and you miss them. The problem is that you create small goals for yourself and you achieve them. So I feel work upon setting up goals which are related to your interest areas, which are related to your future, so that you get a direction in life. So basically these three things, which are books, individuals and goals, is what I feel if you pay heed to and work upon, will really make you achieve the kind of success which you are thinking to achieve for yourself. And there's a saying that if you dream big, then only you become big. And for me, you know what big stands for? Big stands for like B for books, I for individuals, and G for goals. Yes, exactly what I told you in the last 2-3 minutes. Books, individuals, goals. These are three practical things other than hard work, staying efficient, staying honest, discipline. That is all fine. But these three practical things, if I feel you work upon right from today, you will definitely see a change and transformation in yourself. So with these words, I welcome you all once again to Asian School of Business, and I assure you that we will leave no stone unturned in providing you the best and the quality education which you deserve. Thank you so much.
And now may I request Dr. Sandeep Marwa, President Asian Education Group, to address the students.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Let me start with the two lines. Sur bin mile na Saraswati, Guru bin mile na Gyan, Jal bin Hansa yu mile, jaise Bharat mile Bhagwan. Respected Shri Suresh Prabhu ji, Dr. R.S. Sodhi ji, Dr. Lalitha Shrivastava, Saurabh Sharma, Gurdeep, all the deans, faculty members, members of the management and administration, and my dearest students. What I'm trying to tell you in these two lines that unless and until you mix, amalgamate the seven swaras, you just cannot make the music. For a swan to look beautiful, the pond has to be full of water. And a powerful man like Bharat also needed a teacher like Lord Rama. On the basis of these Indian principles, we decided to launch Asian Education Group way back in 1991, and no looking back. God has been very kind. From 40 students, 4 courses, to 5,000 students and 50 courses, we have grown up to the universities. I'm so thankful to Almighty, to my parents, to my teachers, my faculty members, the administration, for putting their best and making AFT and Asian Education Group as one of the best education centers of the country. Well, my dear friends, I would love to recite 2 more lines. कि सभी दिशाओं से शुभ सुंदर भाव विचार भरे नित अंतर पुण्य धरा बन जाए स्वर्ग ये मेरे यत्नों से करुणा कर. What I'm trying to tell you here, whether it is north, south, east or west, whether you're in India or abroad, whether you're on the top of the hill or you're standing at a seashore, whether you are in a lush green garden and looking at some colorful flowers, or maybe looking at the most beautiful woman on earth. But the fact is, there are 2 things which are much more beautiful than what you can see with your naked eyes. And these 2 things are your thinking and your feelings. And the best part is that both the things are right within you. You don't even need to have eyes for that. On this very auspicious day, let's pray, hey Lord, give me good thinking, give me good feelings so that I can do good deeds. And through my good karmas, I would love to convert this earth into heaven. And this is what Asian Education Group is doing. Our job is to enhance your emotions, to make you a very compassionate, a good human being, and intelligent enough to think out of the box and do something extraordinary for the nation and for the world, especially for humanity. Well, let me close with 2 more lines. कि काम शुरू करते नहीं भय से नीचे लोग, मध्यम तजते बीच में देख विषम संयोग, पर उत्तम वे लोग जो हर दुर्गम पथ झेल दृढ़ता से बढ़ते कदम बाधाओं को ठेल. Yes, before I give you the meaning of these lines, let me admit that I belong to films, television, media, art and culture fraternity. And this is one industry where we have never ever believed in the division of society on the basis of caste, creed, religion, region, color, status. We have only believed in one thing, and that is called love, peace and unity through art and culture. But still, I've gone a little out of way to divide the society on the basis of these 3 major principles. Kaam shuru karte nahi, bhai se niche log. People who have 100 excuses for one job, I have categorized them, put them into C class. They are the downtrodden people of the society. They don't work and they just don't let you work. They will never grow and they will just never let you grow. So it's my humble submission on this very first day. Please save yourself from these kind of people. Otherwise, you will never be able to grow in your life. Madhyam tajte beech mein dekh visham sanyog. People with a little push and pull, with a little motivation, may try to get into the work, but the minute they see bit of the hindrance, they try to run away from the battlefield. And I've categorized these kind of people, the B class people, because they have all the time different kind of excuses with them too. पर उत्तम वे लोग जो हर दुर्गम पथ झेल, people who are the people who belong to first class, people who are self motivated, people who have a lot of enthusiasm, zest, people who are hardworking, honest to their profession, people who have goals in life, people who want to do something in their life, they want to achieve something, they want to support people, they want to really achieve something in life. I have categorized all these kind of people into the first class because they are the people who ultimately called achievers. And the key word to achieve anything in life is the strong determination. My dear friends, develop that kind of a determination. And what a pleasure today to share this dice with achievers like Shri Suresh Prabhuji and Dr. R.S. Sodhi today. I'm thrilled, I'm very excited today, and I'm happy that they are here to bless our institution. I will be definitely talking separately to the students in a different class because this is not the time. And obviously, Suresh Prabhuji also has to speak. I'm a learner, sir, and I'm anxiously waiting to listen to you today because I feel that with every word what you speak, because I'm your fan. I've been listening to you and probably every event you are there. With all these words, I extend my heartiest congratulations to each and every student and give them a very warm welcome to Asian School of Business and Marva Studios. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now request our chief guest, Mr. Suresh Prabhakar Prabhu, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, to encourage our students through his address.
So good morning, friends. All my young friends, the faculty members, and all others. Let me first of all thank Dr. Sandeep Marwa for conceptualizing something as vast, as good, as laudable as this, and starting the institution to impart quality education to tomorrow's leaders by telling them today. So let me sincerely congratulate him. And he has done not just this institution, he has also created film cities, and I'm sure he will build more such new initiatives to make India a much better place than what it is today. So let me congratulate him. Also thank Mr. Srivastava as well as Mr. Sharma for being in this program. I know Dr. Sodhi is here, so I'm just thinking of doing something because he belongs to my family and fraternity, he being a cooperator, and I have been all my life a cooperator. I was the youngest ever chairman of the largest cooperative bank when I was 31. So I have got very good, and I'm just, because I never prepare a speech, I'll just pick something in relation to, because Dr. Sodhi is also here. So let me first of all, I was congratulating Dr. Marwa, not just for starting an institution like this, but also for naming it as Asian, the name that is so important part of this institution. Because as you know, Asia is not just the most populous continent of the world. It is not just home to the most important religions of the world, all originated in Asia, all, more or less. Most important ones, the most popular ones. Asia will be the future of the world. People say this will be Asia's century. I would say probably beginning of never-ending expansion that will happen will be in Asia. But that's the future. But if you really look at the past, two largest economies of the world are always in Asia, more than contributing to 50% of the global GDP. So Asia has a size, that's the demography, the population. It has a culture, because one of the most developed civilizations of the world are in Asia. It has the resilience because of the religious strength that it provides, because of large number of regions originated from this part, Asia. And it has history, it has future. So therefore, I also want to congratulate Dr. Marwa for calling it Asia School of Business. And I must congratulate all of you, my young friends, for choosing a right institution for pursuing your career. You'll be studying in a very professional institution, and I'm sure you'll receive a very quality education which will equip you to face tomorrow's world in a more effective manner. You are all enrolled yourself for management studies. If you really look at it, which you always know and you always mention, but to repeat it again, all challenges of the world are related to management. You create problem because you mismanage. You create a better world because you manage it better. And you manage it, sometimes micromanage it, creates a problem. But if you do management by exception, that's also a problem. Where to choose what is exception? So choosing and picking is also important about deciding management by exception. So all problems are created because of lack of management or could be solved with proper management. So now you have to choose, as good management graduates that you will be eventually, whether you should be part of a problem or part of a solution. You can be part of a problem by mismanaging it, but I'm sure none of you will be that, because you are studying in such a nice school and you are such dedicated young boys and girls that will like to be part of a solution. The world always changes. And in fact, if you talk to any previous generation, I'm older man, unlike you are all young students. If I'm talking to my previous generation, they will tell me their generation was better. And if you talk to me, I'll say, oh, my generation was far, far better. But the reality is, all generations have problems and all generations have good people and bad people. So generations always take pride in saying that we are better off than you. But the reality of the matter is that all generations, the previous ones, create problems for the future generations, particularly in case of environment and other issues. You are seeing that previous generations have created problems which you have to now solve. So you will be told that the previous generations were better, but you must have that confidence in yourself that they may be better, but I will be best. There are always good qualities, good contributions made by all generations. But you'll have to have that confidence to get the best of them, but also pick what is bad and leave it out and try to progress by carrying the relay race of carrying the baton with the good things and leave the bad out. But in tomorrow's world, it's going to be a really a very different world. All worlds are different, but tomorrow's world particularly, because what we just had, and we still are in the midst of it, is this pandemic, which has put a lot of question marks about the way we are living life, social life, economic life, even cultural life. So it has even scientific way that we are thinking, all of that, there has been a serious question mark on them. The disruption that has been caused is not just temporary. It is going to make people think completely differently. And therefore, you have an advantage of knowing the old systems, old life, old way of living, and will also be faced with a different kind of challenge because you will be the first batch, first generation of young boys and girls who will be entering the new world. Every generation enters a new world, but they enter with little bit of small little changes, incremental changes. But you are entering a world with completely different kind of approaches and attitudes people will need to adopt to face this new world. Therefore, you have an advantage of knowing the challenges of past world as a strength of the past world, but we'll have no fallback option to know how do I deal with a particular situation because you'll be dealing with completely a new situation. So what will be your tools to deal with it? One is the self-confidence, which I said. But the second one will be the ability to think differently. Normally, a lawyer always relies on past case laws because this institute also runs a law school, right? Dr. Saab, you also run a law school. So they normally rely on case laws to deal with a situation and find out that the ratio of present matter before the court, whether that ratio can be applied to the previous decided case law, and they use the case law. So the lawyer's job becomes very simple. They just only search for the case laws in the past, apply them and put it before the bench, the judiciary, and they will obviously, if there's a highest court, Supreme Court has given a judgment, the lower courts will follow that. So this is how we deal with a situation going to the past, find out how it was, a particular decision was made, how much particular situation was dealt with. You will have not such luxury. You'll have to deal with situation as it is emerging. The world is changing so fast. And it is not a continuity. It's another form of continuity in some way, but large quantity of discontinuity. So it's a different world. And therefore, the knowledge you'll acquire here will help you in some form, but I'm sure the team led by Dr. Marwa, Mr. Sharma, Dr. Srivastava will all teach you not necessarily something that you can refer to in a book, but something you can use your own ideas to deal with a situation. That's something which you'll have to learn. It is like when you're playing on a field, whatever match you're playing, we are playing football or a baseball or a cricket or a tennis, whatever game you're playing, a guide, your coach, teaches you something and he teaches you a lot. But still at the end of the day, when you're playing a game, you cannot just go to him and say, oh, how do I kick the ball now? How can I put it into the goal post? Or when there's a good bowler who is bowling at you, the batsman cannot run while the ball is being bowled and before he plays to his coach and ask him, now how do I deal with it? This seems like a different ball. It's a googly. You never taught me about googly. This seems to be a completely different. And he's bowling a Yorker, which I cannot play like this. Can you tell me if there's any time to do this? No. So the same way, The coach teaches him to play, but every ball he has to play on his own. Nadal, now his coach is Moya, former world number one. His coach was his own uncle. So Nadal won 13 French Opens, 20 titles, Grand Slams. So has Federer. Both of them have won. Both have coaches, fantastic coaches. But still, they win because of coaches, but not just because of coaches. They have something more. And that because everybody has a coach. So you'll have to be on your own and try to learn that ability to take your own decision. That will be very, very important to come on that. And I'm just saying the world that is changing and why it is so changing so much so is in the last several decades. We had some sort of a quietness. Like when you are sailing on the sea and going long distance, then the deck, the captain, and the engineers, they sometimes take it easy because they are passing through a very calm sea. There's nothing to do. They can take it easy and that they can go put in the auto mode and the ship is sailing. And then sometimes suddenly there is a disturbance. And then everybody has to be called and they have to work on it because this is no longer possible that it can go on alone. So last few decades have been the calmness of that sea we have experienced. World economy was going in a particular level. Things were happening as were expected to happen. These are the rules of game which were followed and things are happening. The rules of the game were defined by global institutions, multilateral bodies like WTO, World Trade Organization. We defined, implemented, and everybody respected. So it was smooth sailing to some extent, to great extent. Now enters the world where all these institutions are under threat as well. Some countries are saying WTO has become irrelevant. They want to do global trade, but on their own terms. It is like somebody saying, I will sell my products, I will decide the price, I will decide when to deliver, I will decide the quality, but you have no say into this. Can you ever make a transaction like this? There are counterparties. A buyer also has to have a say as much as the seller will have his own ideas and his own terms. So WTO is a body which decides on behalf of both. That's what helped the global economy to grow. And now suddenly you are seeing that that is also under threat. The other element which kept this calmness in the global economy was we had accepted globalization as a reality. Therefore, everybody was saying we have to go one way, that open up more and things will improve. That again is under threat. Even the largest economy of the world, which promoted capitalism aggressively and said we want to promote values of our own country, our own society globally. That's why sometimes they went for regime change. USA is also now questioning the entire efficacy of globalization. I mean, many others are questioning, but I'm saying USA because they are the ones very aggressively promoting it. Third, the established global supply chains, which were the hallmark of global economy, are also under serious scrutiny. So what was taken as granted is changing so fast. For example, everybody knew that I have to make an iPhone, then I have, these are supply chains, everything. My marketing network is fixed. All of that is under some disruption. So the entire tenets of global trade and global economy is under serious change, also challenge, both change and challenge. And therefore, in that context, the management graduates will have to play a role into this, each of these. If you're studying, for example, you want to graduate in financial management as your part of your career, you want to specialize in that. The entire financial market is under turmoil. Getting money from what source is going to be another very important challenge. If you're into managing materials, purchases, you have to decide how do I buy, because suddenly there is going to be some duty. Suppose what is going to happen, how do I deal with that? If you're into supply chain management, that are again under threat. So all aspects of that are going to be changing so rapidly and so frequently. So you have to deal with all those situations very effectively. I had to go for some other program. That's why I actually kept 11:15 to 11:30 as a slot. And I was expecting that I have a very bad habit of coming on time. So I came sharp at 11:15, but I think there was some change. So I had to go for something. I'm not going to expand, but coming to, because Dr. Sodhi is here, let me come to that point. Why I was saying this. The other very interesting aspect of change is that, as I said, the globalization is under threat, supply chains are under threat. But what nobody can, hopefully, and logically can change is two things. One, all businesses will have to be more and more connected to local communities. For marketing, because that's the market. Large marketing will happen in the remote areas because that's where the growth will come from. But also for sourcing. The local communities will have to be part of will like to be part of a global supply chain, and that's how the governments of the world will have to bring in the growth. Because if local communities don't grow, the so-called inclusive growth will never happen. So they will have to be included into that. And that this is at the business level, but at broader policy level globally, the world will look like different dots, which are some are disconnected from the previous established system and waiting to be connected to the new emerging system. It is like galaxy, wherein some part of galaxy, some stars or some elements of that get disconnected. So galaxy remains, but something got disconnected and they fall apart. World at broad level will be different dots which are disconnected from the previous ones and waiting to be connected to something else. So you will have to play the role of first understanding what is getting disconnected, and also your challenge will be how to connect these new dots which are emerging and the old dots which are already waiting to be connected. Now, where is Dr. Sodhi comes in, my dear friend and my colleague. What is our most successful business model in India is AMUL. Why? Because normally, sorry, I had to go, otherwise this was my very interesting topic for me to speak. Interestingly, the governments make business grow and government benefits from businesses growing because they pay and collect a lot of indirect taxes. Now, in case of GST, they'll collect so many other taxes. But corporates, when they grow, government can also collect corporate taxes, corporate income tax. Then the business growing, they create jobs. That also benefits the larger public good because job creation happens. In turn, everybody, because AMUL has created, say, few thousand jobs, each of the job that you have created is going to add to economic activity. The person who has earned money is going to spend. But what is then different with AMUL and other businesses? The government has to earn money so that they can part of the money, they can put it back into social development, into rural development. AMUL model is that a business itself serves a social cause. So they pay this money to the government is a different thing, which offers ability for the government to spend that collected money onto so many other essential infrastructure development or social development. But AMUL collects milk from farmers. So first thing happens is that a farmer gets money at mainly her doorsteps, also his doorsteps. So first and foremost, farmer has got money even before the AMUL pays taxes. So even before government collects money, the benefit of what government would have collected money and spent it back already has been integrated into the system. And AMUL, so that is the first fundamental benefit that any government in the world will like to offer. The business model is integrated in such a way that automatically that benefit is first granted to the people and to those people who would otherwise would have been left out. When I was young, when I was boy, not young, few months old, few years old, I used to drink a lot of milk. I don't drink milk. Sorry, Sodhi, I'm not your customer. I don't drink milk anymore. But you don't need a customer like me who doesn't have too much of in the pocket anyway. But my mother's struggle was when I grew up in Mumbai, but my native place was Konkan, from where I got elected 4 times to parliament. When my mother had to take me to my native place, her biggest challenge was to find who can give him that milk because there was no milk available. And from there, we have come to a stage today where there is so much of surplus milk in India that we have to convert into milk powder and we have to find a market for that milk powder. In fact, when I was the commerce minister, I had to dealing with that issue. I was trying to promote that, knowing that my farmers will benefit by, because their product, their effort has gone into making milk powder. If you export it, they will also indirectly get benefit out of it. But that is not a point I'm saying. Where have we traveled? From milk deficient country to milk surplus country because of cooperative organization. AMUL is Khera district, but there are so many district cooperatives have come up, so many state cooperatives have come up. Dr. Kurian, a visionary, one of the greatest, I would think, is a Bharat Ratna candidate, who made this evolution possible. A very dear friend of mine, I worked with him and Mohan Dharia even for promoting cooperatives. And I used to come to Anand and even had spoken quite a few times at IRMA. And I would like to come again. So this is anytime you feel like. But what is a model? A globally competitive business, which AMUL is completely rooted into the grassroots challenges of India. On quality parameter, nobody can beat them. Understanding changing taste of people, they are the best. They make ice cream, they make srikhand, they make cheese, they make all kinds of dairy products, value-added products, which is a problem in India. 30% of our fruits and vegetables get wasted. Here, all milk products is made into value-added products. So it's a food processing industry. It is not just collecting of milk, but food processing also. So what are all challenges that India is facing today in terms of rural development, economic integration, and making grassroots, village, remotest of the village to international connectivity? AMUL is a shining example. So in the changing world, the dots I was talking about, AMUL faced that challenge of connecting the dots of a different kind. And its success lies in the fact that made a straight line from the dots. And the line is infinite. You don't know where it starts and where it's going to end. I think all of you will have to take inspiration from that. I'm happy, Marwa, you invited a distinguished person like Mr. Sodhi, Dr. Sodhi for this program. I'm very happy. Of course, he'll speak with authority better than me. But I'm just saying, my dear friends, in this gloomy atmosphere, everybody's saying, oh, business models are failing there. It is a successful model. We never faced a problem, even this crisis. Amazon is a different model where their share valuation went up during crisis. AMUL is not a listed company, but it's a cooperative. So, but AMUL, in crisis, they're doing well. Even in good times, they're obviously doing well. So we have to develop business models of this kind, which will be globally competitive, but also grassroots related. This is what I'm sure my young friends will be doing it. And I'm very sure Mr. Srivastava Sharma will teach you that. Dr. Marwa will mentor you into that. And we'll continue to rise because Asia is the future. And let me tell you, India's economy has contracted, but will bounce back. India, I was saying Asia's different ideas. We have the history, we have the culture, we have the ability, we have the knowledge, we have the talent, and all the people are our real strength. So society is developed because of people, which we have in abundance, not just in numbers. Numbers, of course, we are very large. But in terms of quality of people, we have everything. Look at Dr. Sodhi. He could be competing with any multinational anywhere in the world. And because they understand, because once you have the source where the milk made, now some of my young friends may think the milk is available in a grocery shop. So how do you get milk? Because the grocery shop must be doing it somewhere manufacturing. Because we don't know exactly how the milk, where it comes from. Because you don't have to do all that, because all those supply chains are very well established. But because he knows the source where the milk is made, nobody can challenge him. You develop business models of that strong like this, strong foundation with great future. So thank you, my dear friends. I am already running out of my time. I came on time and I had to leave on time, but I'm already delayed, but doesn't matter. I've been here much, much longer than what I thought, but it was, of course, very enjoyable to be in the midst of young friends like you and with such a distinguished stalwarts who are in the program. So I don't belong to either of the category. I'm neither young, so I cannot be here for too long. I am not a stalwart, so I again cannot be here. So I think I'm sure the stalwarts will take over from him, and I'll thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much. All the best, my friend. Be successful graduates and be great, successful professionals. Thank you very much.
Super, wonderful.
Thank you very much, sir. So Asian Education Group truly expresses its gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, for accepting our invitation and taking out precious time from his busy schedule to grace this orientation ceremony. As a gesture of appreciation on behalf of the Chairman AEG, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, and the Directors AEG, Dr. Lalit Devi Srivastava, Mr. Saurabh Sharma, and Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, we would like to honor and present a memento to our chief guest, Mr. Suresh Prabhu. We shall ensure that this reaches our guest very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And now may I request Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, Director, Asian Education Group, to kindly address the students.
Very good afternoon to everyone. On the behalf of all faculty members, staff, and students of Asian School of Business, I would like to welcome you all and wish you a wonderful journey ahead. In the normal time, I would have welcomed you in person, but due to the pandemic situation that we live in today, I'm meeting you virtually. By being here today, you have demonstrated a great deal of composure and strength, and I congratulate you for that. The 2021 academic year is far from being a normal year, but despite of the challenges that we are here to support you and guide you. It is here on this campus that you will create your future. Today, you walk into Asian School of Business with a blank faces that has your name, picture, and your information. Now, what will determine your future is what you put in that page. It is what you will fill that page with, the type of project you will be working on, the kind of activity you will be involved in, and the internship you will be completing will determine your value in the outside world. The Asian School of Business, our mission is to educate you, to shape you to become successful, responsible managers and leaders for the future with local and global perspective. Our faculties are passionate about their profession. They have your best interests at heart. Their job is to equip you 21st century skills, competence to reach your fully potential. Here, I would like to share a very important thought with you. You may have heard people say that success in life comes to only those who have a strong background, a lot of wealth, power connection, big social networking, and so on. And you grow up with the same thoughts. Let me tell you, all this is not at all true. If you believe in them, this will restrict your mindset and not let you achieve your full potential. Just like the supreme powerful elephant in a zoo who is tied up to the post, a chain, right from the time it was born. Therefore, comes to believe in its helplessness and inadequacy, even when it grows up as full-grown, powerful beast. Be aware of this mindset and come out of this mental block. Realize that Almighty God has given you with all capability to make it big in your life. And that success is really a matter of staying always positive in your thoughts, words, and deeds, and making best out of present opportunity. Through the diligence, hard work, and efforts, there are several examples of people with very humble background, little money, no support, and lot of struggle, making it real big in their lives. Sundar Pichai for Google, Vijay Shekhar Sharma for Paytm, Ritesh Agarwal, the founder and CEO of Oyo Rooms are such few names. Recently, Ritesh Agarwal, a role model for all of you, went on to become the world's second youngest billionaire. Thus, you see that there are people who became big as their dream and made themselves and make their luck themselves. They came from nowhere, overcome all odds through their hard work, self-belief, and create unimaginable benchmark. So do not fall into the trap of this negative mindset. Light yourself on the fire with the passion, and people will come for the mile to watch you burn. So come out with your best efforts, take up all the challenges, achieve all your dreams. There is a saying that best way to predict future is to create it. So together we shall create a bright future for you. There will be few bumps in the road, but together we shall overcome all obstacles and pay your way to success. I wish you a great journey at Asian School of Business, and once again, welcome you to the Asian School of Business family. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. And now I request our guest of honor, Dr. R.S. Sodhi, Managing Director, Gujarat Co-operative Milk Marketing Federation Limited, to inspire our students with his address.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Chief Guest of the orientation program, Shri Suresh Prabhuji, was really given very inspiring lecture, and we all must learn from it. And respected Dr. Sandeep Marwa. I mean, he gave very emotional and inspiring inputs for all the youngsters. The directors of the Asian School of Business, Dr. Srivastav, Dr. Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Shri Gurdeep Singh Ji Rana. It's my privilege that I've been given this opportunity to share some thoughts with the new batch of Asian School of Business who are just starting a new phase in their life. I mean, I was thinking what to speak, because 15 minutes have been given. So I was just while listening to all the other people, and I had gone back 1975, like you. I mean, my first day in my college, and we also had the orientation program like this. I mean, everybody in white shirt and white pant. I mean, I got admission into Bachelor of Agriculture Engineering at Udaipur. And let me tell you, during those days, getting admission into engineering college to be big thing. And I did my schooling from a government school, RK Puram Sector 3. Before that, I did my 8th. I mean, that time it used to be 11 years I spent in it. So when I got into engineering college, I was 16 years old. I think you may be all 17 or 17 and a half years old. So I know the psychology that time, and I was not knowing much. I mean, I was born and brought up in a village, did my initial schooling in the village, then middle class from the municipal school and then high secondary from government school, and then suddenly getting admission far away in the Udaipur from nowhere. The first time I had traveled alone all the way from village to the Udaipur by train, bus, tonga, everything. But when I landed at Udaipur, naturally seniors were there, so everybody welcomed with lot of good words as well as lot of ragging in the night, etc. And now those things are gone. And one thing I was told, I mean, I'm talking about the setting of goals in the life. They say, you're not to worry. As soon as you pass out after 5 years of engineering, you'll get a job of junior engineer in the government of Rajasthan, and you'll get a jeep to move around the villages. So ash karoge aap. So that was the goal set in the day we ended up. That nothing to worry about future. All will become junior engineer appointment letter before we pass out. But what happened later on, I'll tell you later on. But that was the thing. I know today you are under a lot of, environment, a lot of apprehension, lot of unpredictability and uncertainty. One is starting career and then this pandemic. I mean, you must be dreaming going to the college, hostel, meeting friends, and now you are sitting before a screen and doing your education. Nobody have thought. I mean, never anybody have thought that you are going to do. So life is unpredictable. Life is uncertain. Don't try to decide everything now, let me tell you. Although people will say, but I tell you, don't decide anything now. Decide as the things come. Give your best. Work hard. Give your best. See what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, what are your constraints, what are the trends in the life, what are the trends in the environment. Okay, and then see what comes in. So that you don't get disheartened. I wanted to become, my parents wanted to make me doctor. I also wanted to be doctor, and I was not good in biology. So if you want to become an analyst, you want to get into a big person in a CEO, and you feel you don't like mathematics, you are not comfortable in numbers, you are not good at analysis, don't get into management. So you have to understand, just deciding goal and hard work will not make you successful. You have to see what are your strengths, weaknesses, what you like, you don't recognize. And more than that is the environment, ambience, timings, luck, everything plays. But one thing is there, you can get to the top of anything, Only thing is you have to work hard, you should have persistence, perseverance, and life will give you. And nothing is bad. Whether if you want to become a doctor, you want to become a teacher, you want to become a manager, try to be the best. I mean, coming to my history, well, I wanted to become junior engineer. But by the time I reached third, fourth year, I realized that in my college, people were telling that it is better to go for a management school or post-graduation instead of joining a government job. So every year, 3-4 people were going for the MBAs. Very few colleges were there MBA. And because of agriculture engineering, we had next door in Ahmedabad, IIM Ahmedabad. And there they were giving a division special quota for agriculture background. And my background was not only agriculture, but also I was from a farming family. So I thought that is the best side. So I was preparing for the entrance exam of IIM Ahmedabad. There were 4-5 management good colleges. Otherwise, my seniors are also going for IIT, Kharagpur, doing post-grad. So I prepared for both of them. I got into this past written test of IIM Ahmedabad, but failed in interview because I'm from Hindi medium. So that was my constraint, my weaknesses. Got into MTech in IIT Kharagpur. And then I was here at Anand Dr. Varghese Korean, started Institute of Rural Development. I got admission to that also. Both colleges offering good scholarship of 800 rupees per month. But looking to my background and the trend that time, the national development was formed, lot of rural managers are required, government emphasis more. So that time we realized that this field is going to pay. So I joined Institute of Rural Development, finished my 2 years postgraduate diploma program rural development. And my fact, when I entered into my batch, it was a big revelation. I was from a small town, from a agri background, where in my batch there were students from best of the institutions in India, whether IITs or BITS Pilani or Lady Shriram College or Shriram College from Delhi or President College in Calcutta. I mean, you name the best colleges, people had passed out. And then after doing 2 years, I joined from the campus placement. I wanted to join National Dairy Development Board. Let me tell you why I'm saying is you can't decide your future just like that. When I was in IRMA, I thought with my farming background, with my agriculture engineering, I'm fit to get into National Dairy Development Board to work in a wing called Farmers Organization, where the executives had to work in the field to organize farmers cooperative. And there IRMA also job was assured given by Dr. Varghese that everybody will get a job of 1,200 rupees per month. That time, very good salary. But when I was passing out, somehow I could not get into NDDB. There are reasons I don't want to explain. But I got into AMUL, and that too in sales and marketing job, and I was not cut for a sales and marketing job. Let me tell you. Because I thought sales and marketing job is for the high-fi people from the metros, from the big convent school, and with the good students with the IIT and BITS and other values. But I don't know how they selected me. So I got into it. And then worked 12, 13 years in the field, in sales, moving from cities to cities, and then last 26 at the headquarters. Started as a senior officer sales, and with the time, I mean, with the work, with the recognition, with the, I mean, stick to the job. And last 11 years, I'm working with the organization AMUL, which is India's biggest food or FMCG company, 52,000 crore per annum, much, much bigger than any multinational operating in India or the corporate. And biggest thing is like Suresh Prabhu mentioned, basically, this organization is not owned by the government, not a single penny, not by any corporate, not by the multinational, but this organization is owned by 36 lakh farmers of Gujarat. They own it, they manage it, they recruit professionals like us, they give the full independence, and we are growing at 16 to 17% per annum for the last 10, 11, double than the growth rate of any other FMCG company. And like Suresh Prabhu mentioned, it is all because of the principles of success, which I'll tell you in few minutes. So what I wanted to tell you is, frankly speaking, let me admit, when I was studying in municipal school, studying in one-room house at Arkepuram, which was a PN colony, I aspired to become a PN in a Government of India office. Let me admit here. When I got into engineering college, I aspired to be a junior engineer. When I got into AMUL, I wanted to become a good manager. But let me tell you, it's not what, don't look into PN or junior engineer or manager. Look the word before that, good. If you become good in anything, you can go to the top. So that is the, I think, I can tell everybody that Gita ka gyan, kaam kiye ja, phal ki chinta mat kar. But if you start doing chinta of fun only and not working, you're not going to get anywhere. So hard work is the, give you the results which you cannot think about. And I've seen with number of people, already your director has also mentioned it before myself. And now let us come to the AMUL. Everybody is talking AMUL. What is AMUL? It's a cooperative organization. And very simple. It is managed by the farmers. Like on my board, there are 19 board members, 18 farmers. I am the only professional. And they give full independence to the professional. They have full trust, much more than the trust of a CEO of a multinational or a corporate will enjoy. Because they know these are the professionals who know much better than us. They pay good salaries. They fully give independence. They have trust, faith. And we take thousands of crore rupees investment every year, and they don't ask questions. They only one question they ask, what is the price of milk they are paying? And this has happened because we are lucky. This has happened because purely and purely because of leadership. We are lucky to have very selfless, dedicated political leadership, Shri Tirupati Patel. Tirupati Patel formed AMUL in 1946, before independence of India. Farmers were exploited in part of Gujarat at Kera Union, at Kera district. They went to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel that Polson is exploiting them, not giving them good price for the milk. And that time Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel gave the farmers advice that if you want to have best price for their milk, you should not only produce it, you should collect it, you should process it, and you should market it yourself only under your brand so that you can get the maximum share of consumer. So that business lesson given by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in 1946 holds true today also to any business enterprise, especially where farmers, a small aggregator, a small service provider, a small manufacturer are involved, that one should not only produce, one should process and market it themselves by aggregating the produce, by aggregating the service, by aggregating the manufacturing parts or whatever it is. So 1946, Tirupati Patel registered the cooperative society after a lot of problems with the British government. 1948, Dr. Varghese Kurian, who was from a well-to-do family of Kerala, he had gone to USA to do his master's at Michigan State Universities. He had gone on Government of India scholarship. So he had to work for 6 months in a small creamery on as a bond, okay, as an apprentice. So he landed up in Anand, which was at that time a small village of 5,000 people. He thought, I'll spend 6 months in a small creamery and then go back and enjoy the life, because his uncle was a brigadier in Indian Army. His one uncle was the chairman of Tata Steel, and one uncle was the India's first finance. So well-connected family. When he just came for 6 months in a village called Anand, Tribhuvandas Patel, who was struggling with the cooperative society for the last 2-3 years, he requested Dr. Varghese Kurian to help him in establish one pasteurizer, which Dr. Varghese Kurian has only ordered him. Just erect that pasteurizer, train the people, and then he can go away. And Dr. Kurian that time decided that I'll work just for 3 months and then I'll go back. But instead of working for 3 months, he worked for 61, 62 years at Anand and totally revolutionized the Indian dairy industry. And India, which was a deficit, milk deficit country like Suresh Prabhu mentioned during our childhood days also, we also used to stand in the queues for 2 hours to get one bottle of milk. Milk was rationed till 70s, mid 70s, early 80s, let me tell you. And it was Dr. Varghese who planned the white revolution and made India not only self-sufficient, but world largest producer of milk. We are the world largest. I mean, we were 1/3 of USA till mid 70s. Today we are double than USA. We were 1/8 of Europe. Today we are 25. Why I'm telling you, Dr. Varghese Kurian, who gave his whole life, made India proud all over the world and created this business model with anybody, which is everywhere talk and which is so successful. So what I want to tell you that in one's life, you can do anything. I mean, you cannot do many things in your life. You have to select one thing and give your whole life to that, and you can really create. And a lot of people ask me, what is the reason for successful? And I tell them only success of AMUL is one thing. And that is very important for all the like people like you. That is consistency. Consistency in leadership and business goals. We were lucky that we had a consistent leadership. Tribhuvandas Patel and Dr. Varghese Kurian. A business goal means business goals which are set about 74 years back. What was that? Value for many and value for money. Value for many means giving best price for the produce of our farmers who are dependent on you day after day for the milk, and value for many for the billion of consumers by providing them very quality product using best ingredients at affordable price. Next, consistent recipes. What butter we started 60 years back, today same recipe. We have not changed recipe of any product. Once it becomes successful, we become marketed just to reduce the cost of production. Most of the company will do, chalo product successful ho gaya, to increase profit, let us reduce the cost of production. The cost of production, food mein kaise kar sakte hain? You replace expensive ingredients like in dairy, milk fat, which is 400 rupees kg by palm oil in oil of 60 rupees kg or 70 rupees a kg. Never enough. We have never changed the recipe of any product just to reduce the cost of production. Third, consistency communication. Once we adopt any positioning, once we adopt any communication statement for any of our product, we never change. You must have seen our AMUL Utterly Butterly campaign, AMUL Butter Girl, which is more than 55 years old. And this girl comments on anything, everything happening in India, world, Hollywood, Bollywood, sports, politics, anything. Nobody minds. She does not spare anybody. She is not afraid of anybody, and she favors them. I mean, we don't spend anything on it. This campaign is created by the advertising agency. We see it when you see it, and it is given such a brand image just by spending peanuts on it. And third important model of, aspects of consistency for the success of AMUL is the consistency in, which is very important now for you people, consistency in HR or top leadership team. Like me, everybody with me, my team are on their first job. None of us change every job. We don't know what is it. And that is why what AMUL is. But that has gone into our genes. You see, our DNA has been carried from Tribhuvandas Patel, Dr. Varghese Kurian, all my team, because like I have worked with Dr. Varghese Korean for more than 30 years, Tirumon Das more than 16, 17 years. So same DNA is carried forward. So consistency is really reason for the successful there. So now you must be thinking what are the areas where to work, what are, like I said, you are studying your academics. I'm not talking about your career. You have a long way to go. 3 years course or 4 years will come. I mean, you may have to stop this. But there will be lot of avenues, lot of fields coming. I mean, who would have thought 10 years back that e-commerce was such a big thing? So you can't plan. Who would have thought 50 years back modern trade will be a big thing? Nobody. So, and who would have thought pandemic will come and everybody will be doing on remote meetings, remote talking, remote product launch, remote academic session. And so it is very difficult. But one thing is very certain, which will never change. And what is that? Your stomach will be there, you'll be eating food, and day by you'll be eating better food. So we are lucky that we are in a product category food. Food in today's biggest product category in India, 20 lakh crore per annum. Out of dairy is 8 lakh crore, fastest growing category. So whom out of you who are very, I mean, liking for the food and want to get into the food industry one thing is, which is recession insulated. No recession. You can never see recession in this industry. It is going to grow, especially in India, where people are upgrading them from the carbohydrate diet to the protein and fat-rich diet, so more and more food. So, my dear friends, the young friends, I mean, I'm very happy that you are studying in your life or career, but I may be different than your other people. Don't decide now anything. Don't decide your goals. Listen to everything, see everything, understand everything, then decide your goals, which may change with the times. But one thing which will not change is there are no shortcuts in the life. You have to work hard. You should have persistent perseverance and the highest standard value system. Without value system, and like in AMUL, what is the value system? Integrity is given highest. I'll give you example. When we were passing out from the IRMA after 2 years program, one of my batchmates asked Dr. Varghese Korean, sir, what you look for when you select a student, I mean, candidate for any job? You are the chairman of AMUL, National Dairy Independent, and so many other organizations. What do you look for? And you know what he said? That I look for 3 things when I select anybody for a responsible position. You know what those 3 things? He said, first thing I look for is integrity. Second, integrity. And third, integrity. He said, I know you have got a very good educational background. You are passing out from India's premier institute, IRMA or IM or IIT, anybody. I know your IQ is good. You have a good academics background and good family background. So what is make you different is the integrity. Because we are going to get people for the farmers operation who want professional like you. So besides hard work, persistence, and integrity is going to make your career. I mean, people think चलता है कि चलो आज 2000 रुपए ज्यादा 2 लाख रुपए ज्यादा मिलते हैं, जॉब चेंज कर लो, ये कर लो. Nothing. You will achieve in your life that way. And besides this thing, I think other thing which is going to play a big role in your career is how good are you a team player. Individually, you can't do anything. You may be a very good, very intelligent, but individually, if you want to reach to top, no. Reaching to top, succeeding in life has to be a teamwork, like we see in the football, or we now see IPL yesterday, very interesting match. It's the team which succeed. And if team succeed, you succeed. If team succeed, your career succeed. Individually, you can sing 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but not career of 40 years. And team players are always there. So my dear young friends, you are very lucky that you are entering into your academic and professional career. where you have got such a wide, plate before you, such a big plate. 40 years back when I entered, there were very few options available. You got such a wide option. You have got a very good source of information. Our time there was no telephones, leave aside computers or calculator. And you get such a good information. So please make use of it, but never compromise on hard work, never compromise on integrity, never compromise on following the process and the team. Thank you very much. And again, I thank Asian Business School giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts with you. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Fantastic, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Asian Education Group truly expresses its gratitude to our guest of honor for accepting our invitation and taking out precious time from his busy schedule to grace this orientation ceremony at Asian School of Business for the BBA BCA Batch 2020. His gracious presence, though virtual, has made the event extremely memorable. As a gesture of appreciation on behalf of the Chairman, AEG, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, and the Directors, AEG, Dr. Lalit Srivastava, Mr. Saurabh Sharma, and Mr. Gurdeep Singh Raina, we would like to honor and present a memento to our guest of honor, Dr. R.S. Sodhi. We shall ensure that this reaches you very soon, sir. And now, as we come to the close of the ceremony, for your information, social distancing has been observed throughout this program, and none of the safety norms have been flouted. May I now request Dr. Maruf Ahmed Mir, Associate Dean, Asian School of Business, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. A respected Chief Guest of the occasion, Shri Suresh Prabhuji, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, and former Railway Minister and Minister of Commerce and Industry. Dr. R.S. Sodhi, MD, Gujarat Co-operative Milk Marketing Federation Limited. Professor Dr. Sandeep Marwa, President, Asian Education Group. Dr. Lalit Srivastava, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Director, Asian Education Group. Mr. Gurdeep Raina, Director, Asian Education Group. Deans and heads of the different departments, faculty and staff members, students and parents. I wholeheartedly welcome you again to the orientation program of BBA BCA 2020 batch. It's an honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks on this grand occasion. What an occasion. On one side, you have Member Parliament, representative of Government of India speaking. On the other side, you are the MD of one of the finest companies, in fact, not only of India, but of world. The other side, you have one of the world's, I would say, the most renowned speakers, Professor Sandeep Marwa, sir, who is always inspirational. And then you have the great three leaders on the dais live from the campus. If you could listen keenly to all the speakers, I'm sure you may not have written a book, but I'm sure 15 pages you could have written about all aspects of life, be it management, be it discipline, be it motivation, be it anything related to the human behavior. To start with, I would like to thank our guest of the day, who is Shri Suresh Prabhu, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, and former Railway Minister, Minister of Commerce and Industry. Sir has given a detailed inspirational talk. Sir talked about the importance of management, self-confidence, and ability to think differently, and how to overcome the challenges that we face. Sir, we are thankful to you for sparing time with us. It's not easy for you to spare time, and we are really thankful to you that you spent time with us and you took time from your precious schedule. I would like to extend my thanks to guest of honor of the day, Dr. R.S. Sodhi, Managing Director, Gujarat Co-operative Milk Marketing Federation Limited. Sir talked about the importance of persistent hard work, which always pays. We are thankful to you, sir, for sparing time and guiding us and our students so that it can be a source of light for the rest of their life. I would like to extend my thanks to Professor Dr. Sandeep Marwa, sir, who is always a motivation to all of us. So your beautiful couplets, beautifully explained by you, always touch our hearts. We thank you, sir, and dear students, I can assure you that when you meet sir, hopefully very soon, you will be really thrilled to listen to our own President, Sandeep Marwa.
My heartiest congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, sir.
And I would love to take a separate class because today I had to cut short. Minister told me to cut short.
We will end it soon, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to extend my profuse thanks to Director EEG, Dr. Lalit V. Srivastava, sir, whose motivation has always lifted the spirit of all of us. Sir talked about the challenges which we face during the COVID-19 and how we should create opportunities for ourselves. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to extend my thanks to Director AEG, Mr. Saurabh Sharma, sir, who talked about a small word, but it's really big. Books, individuals you have in your life, and the goals you set. These three beautiful words, if you concentrate on these three words, you will be always successful in your life. Thank you, sir, for those beautiful words. I would like to thank Mr. Gurudeep Raina, sir, Director Asian Education Group, who talked about overcoming the mental blocks to achieve success by giving some real life examples of the CEOs who started their own ventures. I thank you, sir, for those inspirational words. All this, what you see, people from different parts of the world joining, and you are easily able to watch and listen to these great speakers, would not have been possible without the complete perfect coordination of all of the heads of the departments, all the deans of the departments, the faculty members, the staff members, including all the IT professionals. I would like to thank everybody for making this occasion a grand success. At the end, I would like to thank all the students, all the parents who joined us and listened to us patiently. Once again, I welcome you to Asian School of Business, a part of Asian Education Group, and wish you a huge, huge success in life. Thank you.
So it was a delight to have you all here. Thank you all for your presence. So we come to the close of the inaugural ceremony. The next session for the students shall begin at 2:30 p.m. Success Mantra for Becoming an Entrepreneur by Dr. Vivek Bindra, CEO and founder of BBA Business. So waiting to see you all there. Thank you.